Hello everybody, my name is SpeZy, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to be predicting the MCSR Ranked Season 6 playoffs. Let me switch to... yeah, there we go, look at that cool transition. Anyway, yeah, we're basically just going to be predicting the entire bracket. Now, we're doing this in a... I'm going to be doing this in a tier list this time, compared to last season, because it's a lot easier to do, because I don't have to like predict specific matchups. Here is the bracket, as you can see, but like the winner of Feinberg vs Shimon, there's no guarantee they play Raul, because Raul gets to pick any of the 4 players that win out of, like, you know, the 8 matches, if that makes sense. So you can't really like do full bracket predictions very easily unless you like just guess, which I will do a little bit to figure out who's going to get eliminated, obviously, but I figure tier list would be a lot easier for this, so that's what we're going to be running with today. So we have the different categories, which is 13 to 16, basically round 1, round 2, round 3, where they're going to go out, and then 4th place, the person who's going to lose the bronze match, so losing in the semifinals and losing bronze match, and then the person who's going to lose semifinals and win the bronze match, and then the person who's going to lose the finals, the person who's going to win the finals. You get the gist. Hopefully I can get this done decently quickly. I've already got a rough idea of how I'm going to do the predictions, so I should be able to explain my reasonings a little bit. But yeah, we'll just jump straight into this. There's always a chance I change my mind. The first player, if we just go into here, we have Feinberg, Shimon, Venfi, Danny Boy, Budgie, Tudor Rule, Automat, Eric. And the first player, well, this is the only one where I can actually do exact predictions because we know the matches already. The first player who I think will be finishing, who will be going out in round 1 is Shimon. And the main reason is I think there's a very good chance they're going to be incredibly nervous after their very good qualifiers performance immediately going into Feinberg. So I think there's a very good chance they'll be nervous. Also, I do think Feinberg is the better player anyway, but like adding nerves on top of that, I think it's very likely that Shimon goes out in round 1. Next is, I guess, for seeding. Oh, yeah, I guess it would be the Venfi Danny game. And I've actually predicted Danny to take this. I think Venfi will go out quite early as well. Again, due to the same reasoning, it's their first playoffs. And Danny has been in every single playoffs. So I think that experience will just like... I think it might be a close match, but I think Danny will pull through. But yeah, overall, I think Venfi's gameplay could get... I don't know, similar to Shimon, really, could just get a bit shaky, you know, given it's their first playoffs. And there's going to be a lot of pressure. Especially being like the higher seed, it's gonna. I think it could be difficult, but I think it will be a close match though. I think they might take a couple games off Danny, and I think they could definitely win. In fact, I think this might not be the most popular prediction, but that's just what I feel is gonna happen. Next game, Budgie Tudor Rule. I think Budgie takes that one, and I think Tudor Rule will go out in round 1. Tudor Rule, to his credit, I predicted him to go out in round 1 last time, and he made it to round 2, so... I mean, that could happen again. Budgie, I mean, really, it's only a matter of time. I think now a lot of players who specialize in other versions, a lot of time coming over to 116 ranked is like, I mean, it's just up the competition by so much, and it's great. And Budgie's just a really good player. So, and I think Budgie could have finished with more face points. I think there's a chance they do even better next season. So, I don't know. I don't see Budgie going down without a fight. So I don't expect Tudor Rule to take it, but again, Tudor Rule definitely could take a few games off Budgie. It would be a close game. It's difficult to predict especially these early ones, because like a lot of it's pretty like close matches. To be fair, all the way through it's kind of close matches, but I would slightly favor Budgie for this one. I might post a more after I do this tier list. I might make a more accurate thing in my like spare time and show like what I think the scores of each matches will be, and maybe I'll put that at the end or something. I'll post that on my Twitter, but. Yeah, for now, I guess we'll just go with this. And for the final match is Eric and Automat. And for that match, I actually predict Automat to go out. Automat usually makes it decently far into the playoffs. Usually goes out around, you know, quarterfinals-ish area. Maybe makes it to round 2. I think Automat... I think there's a lot of players catching up to Automat in terms of, like, skill. And I haven't seen too much improvement from like some of his gameplay, so I don't know if it will Like, I think he's a very consistent player, but I don't know if it will hold up against this sort of lineup of competition. I think this is by far the most difficult playoffs, just in the players in. And a lot of the players who are usually good are really good this time because, you know, we've had 4 months and people have gotten better. So I think it'll be very difficult for Automat, and I think I predict him to lose to Eric because Eric is on the come up. And I love an underdog story. I can't speak. Okay, moving into round number 2. These are the 4 players I expect to go out in round 2. And the first player who I think is going to go out is Danny. Now, I don't know who Danny's going to play. I'm positive about like one of the matches, but that's going to happen. Like, I'm very confident that Feinberg is going to play Silver, and we'll get to that in a minute. And I do think Danny will go out. To be fair, I think I'd be impressed if Danny did make it to this point, given he's someone who I didn't even think would qualify. So I think it'll be quite impressive for him to get this point, and I want that for him. So hopefully he can do that. But I hope he can go further, because again, he's made it further before. He got 3rd in Season 1, and he's done well in other playoffs. So I hope he can do a little bit better than this. But unfortunately, I do think this is where the road ends for Danny boy. The next person to go out, unfortunately, is Eric. I do think Eric will fall in round 2. Again, I'm not too sure who will pick him, but I think he'll fall in round 2. Similar reason to Danny in a way, I guess. I think the competition is just so high, and I'd be surprised if Eric could get back-to-back wins, because at this point, a lot of it's going to be flipping a coin, because some of these players are so similar in their, but not necessarily in their playstyle. So a lot of it will depend on what seeds they play. But I think Eric will unfortunately fall in round 2. Next person to fall, another person who got it hit from round 1, is Budgie. I do unfortunately think Budgie will fail in round 2. Again, just a nerves thing, and also like going against such tough competition. I mean, any player you match up against into round 2 is gonna be good, and I think Budgie, whilst I do think Budgie is very good and like could actually do very well this playoffs, I think realistically it's more likely they finish around here. So I think it's most likely they fall in round 2. And I told you what I thought one of the matches was going to be, and I haven't addressed who I think is going to be eliminated out of that match until now. Feinberg or Silver. I do think Feinberg will be eliminated in round 2. That's sad to say, because I do want Feinberg to do very well, but unfortunately I think that there's a good chance that he plays Silver, because I don't think anyone else will want to pick Feinberg. And Silver is seed 8, and they'll both be left to play each other, which is a brilliant game in round 2, and I do think that Silver will win it. I think Silver, overall, just more ranked experience, in doing an insane amount of practice at the moment, so I'd be curious to see how well Silver does. I know he's probably changed a lot of his like gameplay stuff, so we might be seeing someone a very different Silver going into the playoffs. So it'll be interesting to see how well he does. And I do predict that he will beat Feinberg, mainly because Feinberg's lack of practice going into the tournament. I also don't know how much like he's going to have to commentate. That he might have to commentate a game right before he has to play, for example, and that just hinders any practice he can do because he has to commentate. So I don't know how the broadcast is going to work. Maybe my predictions will change after I know all of that. I don't even know all the scheduling, so maybe if he's playing first, he's able to practice before. I don't know. But that's my unfortunate prediction, is that Feinberg will go out in round 2. But that's just my opinion. Moving into the quarterfinals. Now, every single one of these players will be in play as Duke, Monji, Hax, and Loki start their journeys in quarterfinals. And will be playing, in my predictions at least, they'll be playing Silver, B-Salad, Oxidiot, and Raul, which is the exact players who got the head start into round 2. Well, we don't really know what the matches are, but we know that each of the people from seeds 5 to 8 will be playing a person from seed 1 to 4. So that's all we know, and it's whether or not they can beat them. The first player who I think will go out, well actually, we'll do the prediction. There's one player from seeds 1 to 4 who I think will go out, and there's 3 people from seeds 5 to 8 who will go out. The person from seeds... Actually, we'll do 5 to 8 first. The first person I think will go out is B-Salad. I had to swallow something. B-Salad's a very good player. And he can definitely put up a fight, but I think that playing Monji hacks Loki Dugile, that's a fight. You have a sword and there's a man with a gun. It's a difficult fight to win. So for B-Side, I think it'll be very difficult, and I also predict that same fate for Oxidiot. Again, Oxidiot, really good player. Has been Seed 2 before, I think, in Season 3. Like, very high on the ranked leaderboards, very good player, but again, I just a slightly less experience with ranked, and I think a lot of this is going to come down to experience. So, unfortunately, I don't think Oxidiot will get through. There's not really much to say. I have the same sort of comment on all of these, and my next prediction is that Raul will go out, which means that if you heard what I said earlier, I think Silver will actually go through. He's the only person from 5 to 8 I predict to go through. I think Raul is... I think he might be the best player out of those three, but I think he will slightly lose to whoever he plays, unfortunately. And the player from Seeds 1 to 4 who I predict to go out, unfortunately, I hate to say it, but I think it'll be Monji. I think there's a chance that Monji will pick Silver again. Well, I guess pick Silver is not accurate because he won't actually get to pick. He'll be left with whoever gets left. And I think there's a very high chance that Silver's actually the one who doesn't get drafted here, because I think a lot of these players don't want to play Silver. So I think Monji might have to play Silver again, like he did last season, and I think Silver will win again. So, bit unfortunate for Monji, but it is what it is. You'll get him one day, Monji. You'll get him one day. I don't know. Prove me wrong. Maybe this is his day. Maybe I'm just wrong. I say get him one day. Go do it. Go do it. But that leads us into the final four. So we have to predict the semi-finals. And I actually know what this matchup would be. So if we look at this over here, we could see Doog Monji. Now if you let's just assume replace Monji with Silver, and then Silver and Monji go. Silver and Doog go through here, and then Hax and Loki would go through here. So we know the games would be Silver versus Dugile, and then Hacking Noises versus Loki, which would be crazy. I hope this happens. This would be so cool. And who will win the first game between? I think we'll just I'll sort them into second place and third place for now, and then I'll do it after. I think the winner of the Silver Dugile game will actually be Silver. And my reason for that, again, is a lot of practice, and also the most recent tournament evidence I can go off is the Pace tournament where Silver beat Doog 4-3. Again, Silver's played Dugile twice in playoffs before and has won both times. Well, actually no, that's a lie. He's played once in playoffs and once in Pace. Both times has won 4-3. And I think there's a chance that Doog might be slightly scared of that. And might give Silver a bit of an edge. But again, that'll be a very close game. That can swing either way. Doog is an incredible player, but he won last season, which makes me think that he might not have that same instinct to just try and win like he did last season, because he's already got the win. So that could hinder him a little bit, whereas Silver, I think, is someone who genuinely is playing this, who's going to be going for the win. So unfortunately, I have to put Doog in the bronze match. And the winner of Loki Hacking Noises, I think, will be Loki. I think we're going to get a repeat of Season 2 finals. I think we're going to get Silver Loki again. And that means Hacking Noises will go to the bronze match. Which would be interesting, because the previous grand finale would be the bronze match, which I think is quite funny. And also this finale would just be really good. This would be cinema. This would be absolute cinemas in the chat for the whole 2 hours, 2 hour of that game. It would be cinema. So you gotta predict it. So let's predict who's gonna win the bronze match first, and then we'll do the grand finale. The winner of the bronze match, in my opinion, is going to be Dugile. Unfortunately, I think Hacking Noises is more susceptible to tilt, and I think that will give Doog an edge. Especially because Doog won 4-1 last time against Hacking Noises, I think that might scare Hax and make him play a little bit differently, because I know Hax has repeatedly said that, you know, he thinks that Loki and Doog are better than him. So I think if he matches up into Loki and Doog, which is also one of the reasons why I think Loki might beat Hax in the semis, that he might be a little bit scared, might play a little bit differently, and I think playing differently is bad. He might not try to play differently, but I think he might. So that is my unfortunate prediction for Hacking Noises, but I do hope that Hacking Noises wins a playoff someday. I will be rooting for him, but I think that 4th is where his soul lies. It's a bit of an ominous way to put it, but anyway. And the winner of the Season 6 playoffs is, in my opinion, gonna be Loki. I think Loki is arguably the best player in the world, and he's won every single playoffs with an even number, and this is Season 6. So I think there's a chance that he repeats this. So yeah. I also just don't think Silver starting out as the 8th seed. I think it'd be surprising if the 8th seed won. You know, I think, I don't know who the lowest seed to ever win is, but I think it'd be surprising if I think it's Priffin in Season 3. I think Priffin was seed 4. I think. Yeah, because Priffin was seed 4 and Hax was seed 6. And Priffin won. So seed 4 is the lowest. I'd be surprised if seed 8 won. So again, I think Silver, again, whilst he's putting in a lot of practice, I don't know if it'll pay off. So I think Loki might win. To be honest, this might not be that close of a final. I know Season 2 was 4-3. And I really want a really close final again. Like 4-3s are so good. And they're just so good. But I don't know if this would actually be that close. I think there's a chance that Loki would win this by a significant amount. Mainly because I think Loki is the best in the world right now. So, you could always make the argument for Doog or Hax, but I think Doog is slightly out of practice, and I think Hax is not there yet in some very minute areas. So, I think Loki will take this. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and that's going to do it all for me. Thank you all very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. I'm going to be doing, not like an analysis, but I'm going to be doing like an update halfway through. So after round 2, I'll make a video sort of reacting to what's happened and then maybe adjusting some predictions on here. But yeah, aside from that, that's all I've got for you. Have a lovely rest of your day, and goodbye.